What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today we are going to talk about Lorsan. I'm going to give you my honest opinion about whether I think he's worth summoning or not, what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are. Maybe there is a meta team. We kind of found a pretty cool team, I have to say. So we'll take a look at that. First of all, what is Lorsan all about? Basically, this dude is our newest Wilder hero, Wilder support hero, and in the earliest gameplay we saw, I was already very surprised by the damage he can deal for being a support hero, really. And one thing to note before we really get into this, because I know there are going to be comments about this, we summoned this guy to Paragon 2 in the live stream. Nearly Paragon 3, there's actually one copy that you get this time around from events. There is this Wind Whispers event, and this is actually going to give you one soul seal for Lorsan. Also the temporal essence here, you get 15 temporal essence for Lorsan, so you might not want to upgrade him to plus 15 immediately, or to plus 10, depending on what you want to do. And I'm still waiting for that copy. We did, however, not test him in PvE and partly in PvP at Paragon 2, because I know many people don't want that, so we went ahead and did Supreme Plus testing. And if you care about some gameplay for that, you can check out the live stream, it is still on my channel. So that is one thing to note. We then went into PvP, and in PvP we tried out some of his abilities, and of course when you're fighting strong players you need a little bit of Paragon. We fought like the strongest players on my server. Right here, for example, we fought endgame using Lorsan, and there we see Paragon for Dynel. You can't fight that with Supreme Plus, you have to bring a little bit of Paragon to the table. So we did that. What is like his key ability? Why did I bring him to PvP? Well, we also tested PvE, but I'll have to be honest, there is not much happening there. He has a little bit of heal, he has a little bit of damage. In almost all situations you will be better off using something like a Bonnie. You might even be better off using a Carolina, who will boast stronger damage, really. He has like two really big abilities. The first one I think is like his Mythic Plus, which enhances an ability he has before. When a battle starts, Lorsan links the nearest and farthest enemy heroes to each other with Stormbound Chain. This chain transfers damage one of the heroes takes to the other one, so you can damage two heroes at the same time, which is really, really cool. It is sadly capped at 500% of Lorsan's attack and cannot defeat the enemy, but it's still a very cool ability. And with Mythic Plus we can do this more often in a fight, and we actually also get a stun at plus 10, which is very cool. In this situation we used that in a very cool way, because what we did was we linked up his Dynel, because his Dynel is like in the backmost hero, and we linked him to the Talene. You can see that, and you can see how much damage that Dynel immediately takes at the start of the battle. Let's repeat that start of the battle one more time, because it is really, really fancy. We linked the Talene, who was the frontmost hero, to the backmost hero Dynel. In many games, in many teams like this, Dynel is the backmost hero to profit from a lightning spell, and this is kind of a counter to it, because we link this Talene. Talene gets attacked by Lily May, and you can see, bam! Until the link runs out, because we reached the attack cap, Dynel already took a massive amount of damage. And this is actually very, very nice, because we get to put some extra damage on this guy, and now he's easily cleaned up, and you can see he just lost his Paragon for Dynel in the first few seconds of the game. And I mean, is this a situation that you have in every single fight? No, but Enlightening Spell is a very common artifact, so linking something to Enlightening Spell, to the backmost hero, that can often be quite good. That is not a bad ability at all. And I described Lorsan like as this weird little tool that you have, this little screwdriver that kind of screws out these screws in a Samsung notebook. They use some weird special screw, like a thing. You don't really need Lorsan in every single fight, because, well, you don't really get to his ult, it takes a long time. You get to use the second cool ability, but when you can do something like this in a fight, and you can kind of go ahead and you are in the attacker position, and you get to take out a P4 Dynel fairly easily and put like a massive hit on this guy, plus a stun. Well, to the stun he is immune thanks to the lightning spell, but otherwise he would have been stunned, because we have plus 10 Lorsan. Then that can be really, really nice. And that was just like one aspect to it. Let's take a look at the other abilities that he has. So we already took a look at the link. The most problematic thing about the link is that it runs out after 500% of Lorsan's attack is often not enough to kill an enemy. So, bit of a problem there. So that is something. And then we also have the ult. Ult is I never saw that in PvP, I think. Like, he's either dead before it happens or just, yeah, it takes just too long to cast that. PvP at the moment is rather fast. If we go into a bit more of a sustain meta, it could be interesting. It has a haste debuff, and it really does a lot of damage. Is not bad at dealing damage at all. I think we have another clip coming up where we have it actually, where we get to cast it. And then we have the other one, Zephyr's Embrace. He gives the weakest ally a shield, HP recovery, and dodge, not a shield. HP recovery and dodge and a little bit of haste. So very, very cool ability because it makes your weakest hero not like super squishy. He just gets to dodge a whole lot of attacks, and this really enhances your survivability. Depending on which hero you get that, it can be quite insane. Also, you get unaffected on the lowest hero. So let's take a look at another battle. I actually fought one against Brownie with a team idea from Atraxi. Very, very cool. Both content creators, by the way, Brownie and Atraxi, so go subscribe to both of them. And this was a very cool idea. The idea was, let's use the Lorsan link and combine that with Bonnie and try to hit both heroes. Link like the hero Bonnie hits with another hero, and then also hit that same hero with the Graveborn skill, because the Graveborn skill, if you haven't read it already, seizes the soul of the rearmost non-summoned enemy for the prime carrier, instantly causing the enemy to lose 45% of HP. And checking that out, well, turns out the link seems to become active after the enemy loses the HP, so this does not transfer, but still you get to put a massive amount of damage on like the rearmost hero if you position everything correctly. And maybe you want to copy this team for Supreme Arena, because actually a very cool Supreme Arena team. Let's take a look at this fight. Okay, it's slow. You can see how much damage this Ulcer there immediately takes. Bam, already done. After like 5 seconds into the battle, Ulcer is already gone, so we get to spread our curse from Bonnie to the next enemy, and we get like such a clean win here. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's not super strong team, still really, really nice. I mean, he has strong units in there. Also using Soren, but like just the heal from the Ludovic, the Graveborn skill, getting some attack on the Bonnie actually works out really, really well. So let's check out the enemies. He had like a Harak in there, did absolutely nothing. Had like a Thorin in there, who didn't get to do anything, and we used a pretty interesting lineup. I mean, like, if you have all of those heroes, you probably can use them in Supreme Arena, just because there's a high likelihood you didn't use them on another team yet. Maybe Ludovic you can like just spare, put them in there, then Thorin is in many teams replaced by Fresto anyway. You might have a Bonnie, you might have a Lorsan, Scalita, okay. I mean, if you don't have her or use her on another team already, you can probably replace her by something. I use her in this mostly for the shield and for the Fizz and MDef. Like that is like the biggest purpose for her here. But of course, once she comes down, she also clears up a little bit of stuff. And we just use the +0 Graveborn skill, and you could probably use anything, like really, it would work. We can watch this one more time, keep an eye out on the Ulcer, bam! That is the Graveborn effect, and then the Bonnie skill starts ticking, and it's gone. It was linked to Thorin, which is suboptimal, I agree on that. A little bit suboptimal. But yeah, works out. You can see how long it just takes for Lorsan to get to the ult. Like, now we get... Did we even get the ult? I didn't even see it. I don't know what happened to that ult. Assume we started to cast it and it just vanished. So, yeah. Ult-wise, not that interesting. If you use it in PvP, it's really for that link. PvE, we can try to do a stage. So this is the stage, this is a successful lineup. We're just going to replace the Arden here with our Lorsan. I can find him. And by the way, skin. You can buy the skin from the trolley if you care for that. Paragon 2 on this guy. I can guarantee you the damage will be decent, but not super great. We can speed this up here probably a little bit. Losing a ton of HP. Come on. I mean, he should heal or die instantly. That is also an option. Okay, that really didn't work out. He died a little bit early there. We can take a look at the damage, but it won't be great. I'm not sure if we can clear it. Twins there doing an awesome job. By the way, Twins, we have to do a little bit of another video. Insane. Insane how much they are used. People really underestimated them, considering some people still set to the buffed version of twins, like we had some on Pioneer in 2 versions, like one that was stronger than the current version and one that was weaker than the current version. And if you think about it, some people still said about the version that was stronger than our current version, that it was still too weak. And if you consider that now, how much they are used, that is an absolute madness. Can we RNG that? Oh! Okay, that was a sadness. You can see we got damage there. We got actually highest damage. That is kind of ridiculous, because most damage was done by the artifact here. Yeah, so you can do some stuff, but in most situations, even if you have like a longer fight where you just have to chain CC the enemy, you're usually better off using like an Arden. The same fight, I reckon, we would have easily won with Arden. Maybe we don't demonstrate this right now. Let me show you a stage where we can really use him. Okay, this is probably pretty cool. This was usually supposed to be Bonnie, and we're going to try to just get all the enemies in there. If we get that, we should be fairly fine. He's invisible right now, not because of his own skills, but because of the Wilder tile. Takes a long time to get his ult. Once this ult is out, you can see there is like this tornado. And this does a decent amount of magic damage. Not too bad at all for a supporter. Just like not super huge. And the problem that he really faces in this team is like the reason we had to take Bonnie out and put him in there. Bonnie is usually just the better choice for an Iron team, because Bonnie features the stun, Bonnie features a better haste debuff, and this all ends up working a little bit better for this entire team, because with the extra chain stuns you get a little bit more CC uptime, and the protection of one ally, which would be good with Zephyr's Embrace, isn't really that great. We have good damage. Like overall, if you just take a look at these stats, it's not bad. It's 12 million damage. We also have like 19 million heals. So overall, that is really nice. You have like a decent combination here. So it's not like if you summon Lorsan, if you have Lorsan, you can't use him in AFK stages. I just say that most teams will prefer to go with Bonnie and just have her on the team, because she will be more interesting for that, because she has the nice ults. You can see with the stun on everybody afflicted by aging. We have the 30 haste debuff with the extra haste, so it's a higher haste debuff actually than on Lorsan. What we don't have here is heal. So maybe if you fight an enemy stage where they do a little bit of damage to you, I could see that heal could be interesting, but other than that, probably not that interesting. The skin, by the way, is currently in the shop. It's right here in the Lorsan skin bundle, 350 dragon crystals. I don't know how long they are going to keep in that and what's going to happen once this is gone. Maybe it's going to go to the skin section. I would hope so. Rate up wise, he's still available for a decent amount of time. One trick that maybe would be interesting for you if you waited till now to summon him and you decided to summon him now, which is viable if you do a lot of PvP. You can wait for the end of Bonnie rate up. If you wait for the end of Bonnie rate up, you will actually be able to put Bonnie in your wish list and get her as random A tier drop from the Lorsan rate up. So you can actually get some Bonnie copies that way. Maybe that is interesting for you. Wishlist. We are of course talking about the Wilder S tier. If I had to put them in some order, I would say Lily May is better, Iron is better, Tazi is better. I see Hewan as better. Some people were saying like, Lorsan is pretty cool though. I would say on one level with Florabelle. Maybe a little bit ahead, because he could actually see some PvP use. Florabelle only sees very, very rare AFK stage use. So that is a thing. In this season, Brian would be ahead of Florabelle, by the way. But usually not. So that would be my order. Like probably 5th best Wilder S tier. Which is tough, of course, once again. Wilder is super strong. In other factions, he would have been one of the best heroes, probably. But that is like my thing to say right now. Should you summon him in a rate up? No. Why did I do it anyway, and why did I summon him to P3? Quite intentionally, so that I can swap him. I need one P3 at the moment for to unlock Paragon 4. So once we have the Paragon, him at Paragon 3, which will take 2 more days, I think, to get the last copy from the event, I will unlock Paragon 4. So that is what I wanted to do. And at the same time, we now, of course, have the option to swap heroes. So I fully intend to swap that P3 to another hero. That being said, so don't get confused by me being overly excited and summoning to Paragon 3. That was with the plan to swap. So, I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I'm going to do some early game guides soon, so if you care about that, definitely subscribe to the channel, I guess. And other than that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.